Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. When I was living in an ashram and I was studying our Upanishads, a certain teaching really made me reflect more. This teaching shared how the mind moves fast. Right now, if I think of Indonesia, then my mind is there. I'm thinking about the plants and the water and the people and so on. No vehicle humans have created can get there that fast. But there are entities that move even faster than the mind, like the intellect. The mind can't go into the future, only the intellect can. And even more so, awareness. Awareness is always there before the mind is. It was from this teaching that we came up with the name running from the mind. We always run with the mind. Even when we try to sleep and we don't want the mind to be there, it's still with us. Running from the mind is living by the intellect, by awareness. We are in our 8th year of our running from the mind effort. I was checking this morning. We have 158 seekers who have committed to completing a half marathon. I know by the time of our next satsanga, which will be June 13th, we will be at 180 seekers. In our first satsanga, I was sharing with them, all of the seekers, this year's focus is going to be 3 M's. Not the company 3M. I'm saying 3 M's. They also copied what I'm about to share. That is tracking miles, mantras, and needs. Zooming into mantras. This year, our ashram in Cleveland, we will have our inauguration from August 4th to the 6th. And Bhagavad Gayatri is going to make our ashram her home. So the mantra we're focusing on this year is Gayatri Mantra. I'd shared with the seekers, this most essential mantra can be distilled into 4 statements. Here's what they are. Omnipresent, omnipatient, omnipotent. These all describe Bhagavati Gayatri. And the final part of Gayatri Mantra, we invoke. We train to feel that our nature is the same, omnipresent, omnipatient, omnipotent. What is meaningful mornings? It is we invoke. We invoke Sri Krishna. Krishna means joy. Shri means virtuous. We invoke virtues so that we can be joyous. Verse 66, the completion. 67, the confused. 68, the connection. 69, the connected. I'm reading what Pujya Swami Chinmayananda has written about the connected. Philosophy is the basis of every culture. The Hindu culture can revive and assert its glory only when it is nurtured and nourished by the philosophy of India, which is contained in the Upanishads. The fathers of our culture, the great rishis, knowing this secret, urged the students of the scriptures not to keep this knowledge to themselves, but to impart it freely to others. In this way alone, the culture can be successfully brought into the dim-lit chambers of people's lives. As someone who's grown up in Sanatana Dharma, I've never understood how certain organizations and teachers, they share but tell you not to share with others. They teach, but you have to pay for this and keep it a secret. That is a business that is not a parampara. Parampara means lineage, tradition. When we reflect on a guide, there's two facets to a guide: their life and their teachings. Their life is how they lead themselves. That's number one. That has to be set first. Then there can be teachings, which is how they lead others. Sri Krishna is describing all of the culture of care around, in this verse, our guides. They have a parampara based on life and teachings, and there's no conditions. Share this. Don't pay for this. Let it not be a secret. In this most fascinating portion of the Bhagavad Gita, it is Sri Krishna who's offering his dakshana. Dakshana means gratitude. I've been describing this as caring culture. He's expressed this to the taught in verse 67. He's expressed this to the teaching in verse 68. And now he's expressed this to the teacher in verse 69. Zooming specifically into the teaching and teacher. The taught is supposed to forget about themselves by focusing on the teaching and teacher. Sri Krishna has used the phrase, Priya Kritama. There is no action that pleases me more than teaching. Priyatara. There is no being that is dearer to me than a teacher. I am pointing out these details because it is Sri Krishna who is stating these. For those who are missing some grace in their lives, they feel this is an exaggeration. And I can sense that, and it's all right. I only want you to know that these are Sri Krishna's direct words. You have these in your own book. Are you feeling he's exaggerating? What would be the reason for him to exaggerate? What does he gain by this? Verse 70. adhyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoho jnana yagnena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihi. Joy. And the word cha is used. Shri Krishna is continuing this train of thought. Yaha, the one, imam, the Bhagavad Gita, all of these teachings, adhyeshyate, they study this. Adhyeshyate sounds like swadhyaya. It is getting to know, getting to feel yourself. In this case, getting to know, getting to feel Bhagavad Gita. Not in a scholarly way, not in a technical way, not in a grammatical way, not in a melodious way, but feeling this. Swami Chinmayananda has written. There is a subtle difference between reading and studying. Newspapers are read. I'm just pausing here. How interesting these examples are. This was all written in the 60s and 70s. When was the last time you read a newspaper? Instagram feeds are read. Market tendencies are studied by the man of his age. In reading, it is mainly an attempt to satisfy a curiosity of what the theme is. But the process of study is not only a thirst to understand the theme, but a hunger to gain into ourselves the perfections discussed therein through reflection and practice. You can read an objective science. When I was in university, I always thought about how when we would study for an exam, and I should change it to read for an exam, and I would do all right. If they gave me that same exam the next day, my marks would be reduced by half. I only read for the exam. I don't study for this to become me. This is a subjective science. For you to feel this. I've shared in the previous verses how one has to be active. That is the difference between reading and studying, is how active you are, how much you prioritize living like this. How has the Bhagavad Gita been facilitated? Dharmya, this sacred subject, avayaho, it is ours through samvada, through a dialogue. This has not been a discourse, it has been a dialogue. In a dialogue, there is more feeling. I'd shared with you some time ago the difference between vada and samvada. Vada means talking, samvada means dialogue, is the focus on resolution. Vada is talking. There could be conflict but no resolution. Samvada, there's going to be conflict, like in the Bhagavad Gita, but this interaction is for resolution. How to grow is what the focus of this dialogue is. And it is personal. Avayaho means it belongs to Sri Krishna and Prince Arjuna. It belongs to Sri Krishna and you. Jnana yagnena tena aham. I, Sri Krishna, tena, the one who engages in jnana yajna. He's setting up. Those who are personalizing Bhagavad Gita are engaged in a jnana yajna. Now, 99.9% of you, you're not invited to another center or community where you're welcomed with a Purna Kumbha because you're about to offer a jnana yajna. You're going to teach verses and chapters of Bhagavad Gita. But here Sri Krishna is sharing, anyone who's feeling this is engaged in a jnana yajna. Do you have to be invited? Do Sanskrit mantras have to be chanted? Do you have to sit cross-legged and have a beard? Who's saying all of this? Sri Krishna is sharing, you are engaged in a jnana yajna. I'm reading to from Puja Swami Chinmayananda. When a rusted key is heated in fire, the rust falls off and the key regains its original brightness. So too, our personality, when reacted with the knowledge of the Gita, is chastened, since our wrong tendencies, unhealthy vasanas, and false sense of ego, which have risen from false knowledge, ajnana, all get burned up in the right knowledge, which is jnana. If you are dedicated to jnana, yajna means dedication, jnana means that which quietens, then you will sacrifice. Dedication plus sacrifice. You will sacrifice the unhappy parts of you. I shared with you that tapa means trying to be the best version of yourself. If you are not trying, it is because you are not dedicated. Syam, this would have been done to me. Ishtaha, that is puja, worship. Me matihi, this is what I feel. The one who's engaged in this jnana yajna, they are worshipping me. They are pleasing me. There's nothing that one can do that is dearer to me, says Sri Krishna, thinks Sri Krishna. You are the pujaka. This community, this culture is puja. And what is happening is we are invoking the puja. That means the ideal, the icon. Did that work well? How I started with Gayatri Mantra and we invoke. And I ended with Bhagavad Gita, we invoke. I may look crazy, but I'm not crazy. From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to start to express your dakshina or gratitude to the 10 factors that are making this culture, this community possible. Here's a reflection for you. Grace is when you have the thought to change. If you don't have a thought to change, you're not going to change. That thought is grace. Now, zooming into this more, who caused you to have that thought? That will help you to engage in this culture of care like Sri Krishna is engaging in. Your application for this morning, these are all connected. I've asked you to list what you are grateful to express what you are grateful to. Now I want you to rate how grateful are you. 1 is awful. 100 is awesome. You are like Sri Krishna. How grateful are you? Shanti, shanti, shantihi, be joy.